Hi everyone, this is TrashK bringing you a review today of the Mastermind Creations R08 Azalea, aka Masterpiece Fake RC type deal. She's been out since late 2014. Great little bot here. What I like about her the most is her just extreme amount of articulation. You can see here it's genuinely an RC. She's got the old shields here on the shoulders, the iconic face, and of course coloring. Here I have her set up so that she is not using her little foot stand. It's optional, it comes in there, becomes part of her hover gimmick when she is in the robot mode, or sorry, the alt mode. And all in all, it's a great little figure. We'll go over a couple of things with her. We see here she's holding a couple of swords. All of the warriors, the MMC warriors, come with swords, except for the medic, which I don't have. The green gal, who also does not come with these shields by default. And as you can see here, they just fold up. They're cool. I like the way they look. They're a little fiddly, meaning that they like to bend up on their own. It can be tricky to get her to hold them. Of course, right now, while I'm recording, working fine. But they just kind of slot into the hand. I'm not sure if you can see that here. Just tab in there. And they do a pretty good job of staying in there. But if you have an accident on the display table, they tend to take a tumble and fall out. So if we take these out here, set them to the side. She also has her blasters. They just peg onto the hip right here. Let's see if I can force this to focus. They just peg right here. It's just a regular little peg, nothing special. And I currently have it just so that the handle was folded up. I kind of like the way it looks, but of course, with these you can do whatever you like. Get her hand twisted around, get that in there. And now you can do all sorts of really cool dynamic poses with her. And this is really what sold me on this mold and why I picked up the Prime version as well. We'll do a review on there. Just all the poses you can do. It's very articulate. If we look at here, I mean, even down to these little pads, you can have them moved around anywhere you want. Her knees. This is all from her transformation as well. You'll see. Her legs really bend, her feet come up, they have a little swivel as well. Not much in the torso twist, there's a little bit, but I have her backpack up. If I were to lay this down, she'd twist a little more, as you can see here. Kind of looking like secret agent poking around a corner. It's pretty cool. And if I were to pop this on here, and there's a little hole here, there's a little peg here, and it just snaps on like that. There we go. So now I can have this improbable pose. She stands like a champ. There's no issue there at all. Okay, so there she has her pistols. I like the way it looks there. Nice kind of a chrome effect. I'm not sure how well that's translating over the camera. It's just a phone camera. Here her head does have a pretty good amount of articulation. It can spin around. One thing I do notice, I mean, she can look up, she can look down a little bit, side to side obviously. One thing I kind of don't like, and it might just be me, is you have here on her backpack, you have this little item here. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. And that definitely obstructs with her head. See, ka-chink, ka-chink, and ka-chink, ka-chink. Okay, so that will limit some what she can do in her base setup, as far as where she can look. Also, I think other reviewers have reviewed this here, where the pegs kind of need to be in the chest. You can see here they came out. But if you just see here, it just goes in like that. So you can see it's nice and tight in there. And when it's tight in there, that's when her head really has a problem with this little prong here. Not a make or break. Obviously, I'm very much a fan of how she's turned out. I wasn't really sold on these when I first saw them, and I decided to pick them up when they went on sale on TF Source, and I'm really, really glad I did. These things are great. I love the aesthetic. I love the way they look. My only gripe here is with the face on RC, well, on 8, and then the green one. It's identical, and there's not really a whole lot going on, as you can see here. You know, I love the eyes, but let's see if you can make it out here. You know, she's kind of just, you know, kind of glad to be there. It's like, oh wow, I'm here. Look at me, pink robot. But beyond that, I mean, she could do some pretty cool poses. You know, if I get all 3 of these, I'm definitely going to go for the old Charlie's Angels pose. They could definitely pull it off. So, now we've had a look in robot mode. Let's go through and do the transformation. So, just take these guns off out of the hand, little lady. All right. If you hear that whining there, that is my little dog, Xena, who definitely wants to go outside and play ball. And I'll take care of that here in a minute. Okay, so these, they're just pegged in right here. They just come straight out. Straight out. No big deal. Okay, now I will say that once you get the hang of this transformation, it really is not that bad. But getting to the point where it's not that bad is the tricky part, because it is that bad. Okay, so we'll extend down here her butt flap, not to use a crude term, but just her little waistcoat guard thingy. Get that down there, and it's really easy. Just unpeg the head from the chest. Got to be careful here. This is a separate piece here, and that is a swivel joint right in there. And there you go. So here's where it gets tricky. This plus this need to get through this. So yes, you literally are shoving her head up her own ass. So turn the head around. Get that lit here. And there we go. So really, the first couple of times you do it, it's not that tricky. You'll notice here on the back of her head, this is kind of an obscene shot. But just robots. You can see there's a little peg hole on the back of her head here. It's not really translating very well to the video, but there's a tab that the back of her head will go into once we have it all the way flattened out here in robot mode, or alt mode, sorry. So flip these thrusters around. And there we go. Just rests right there. Right there. See? Perfectly lined up. Okay. So I like to keep the flaps open here for the door. The arms, we're going to just flip these up. And you can see she's double jointed. You know, she was gifted when she was made. So we're just going to double up them joints. Swing her little arm guards around because gauntlets can't get in the way. She's a modern girl. Alright, just flip those up. This flips forward. These kind of flip down and around. Notice this hole here. I'm having trouble with my lighting. This hole here corresponds with this tab there. Get the camera focus on it. There we go. Tab A and slot B, if you will. And you can do that now. See, it sits there. But I actually recommend not doing it yet. I'll leave it open. And let's do the butterfly fillet on the legs. Understanding that the robot's supposed to be like this, the leg has this joint in here. You just kind of flip it open, rotate. And you'll see, if I can get this, there's a peg right here that her hand goes in. Also, her wrist guard pegs in to here as well. Now, in my experience, it does not stay. It just doesn't. But we do our best to get it in there. Okay. So her fist has to go into her leg a certain way, like that. There we go. Alright. And now, once that's on there, shift the shoulder all the way up. There's a little play in that joint. Shift it all the way up. Fist is on the peg. Wrist is pegged through. And now, there we go. So we have her side there. Just move this around. The foot comes down. We swivel up this here. Now, this little peg will peg into here. Oh, I know. You want to go outside? We will be going outside soon. This will not take much longer. Of course. And Zena, she is the superintendent here. I got to pay attention to her, otherwise bad things happen. Alright, so this just pegs in. Let's see, can I find it? Yes. It does really just peg in. Famous last words, right? Anytime you're trying to do something in front of people. There we go. And the foot folds down. And there you go, that's her side. So we're going to repeat with this arm. Shoulder joint all the way up. Leg butterflied and rotated. Fist down. Let her grab it. Let's move the shield up. One thing I never really noticed before, but here, because she's got this little tab here, it's supposed to go through this hole here. You can just get that in there. Oh, that's no big deal. Just the foot guard I forgot to take off. And it'll push right through. You can see it there. Well, you can't see it, but if I were to move this around, there, you can see it there. Let's see if we can get it to zoom in. And then just around, there we go. So her arm is secure. You hear this poor dog. She's been quiet all afternoon, and as soon as I want to play around with making videos, she's up and at 'em and ready to play. Oh no, world's ending. You know how it is, doggy style. Angst. Alright, so I'm going to flip this around. Flip this up, and I will say that it is not unusual for this to just not stay very pegged in very well. I don't think it's a deal breaker, because eventually everything ends up going right about where it should go. Alright, and let's get this around, get that in there. Whoops. There we go. You guys hear that? That is my, of course, this is what happens when you forget to put the flaps down before you put the feet in. No big deal. You can twist it, move it around, door comes down, move it around, door comes down. Well, it's supposed to come down, unless something's blocking it. Ah, see, this I missed here. This is supposed to be over this. Easy enough to remedy. There we go. Oh, Marcy lost her head. Tragedy. But I would like to say it's unusual, but not when I'm trying to get her transformed. And that's where the tricky part is, because this is, I would say, actually very well engineered. And it is not going to be unusual for parts to fly off. Luckily, they designed it such that it's, I would say, relatively hard to break her. and boy have I tried. You know, I've popped the legs off, popped the arms off the first time transforming this thing, because it's not a very straightforward transformation. It's actually a little intricate. That's not to say hard. I don't really think she's hard. I think it's actually very interestingly done how they approached her transformation. Okay, that just does not want to go back on. All right, let's see if we can try it from above. All right, got one side. There we go. Okay, so head down. There we go. Head's down and it's through. I may have just installed it upside down. Yes, I did. That's probably why it was so hard to put back on, because I'm a genius person. There we go. So don't worry, she lost her head, no big deal. Ball joint, like I said, they made it real easy to make mistakes and recover from them. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to go our way. All right, the head is through. There we go. This top piece tabs into here. It will go. There we go. Pull that in, and it'll all collapse and look beautiful eventually. There we go. Just slide her hips back. There. And of course, there we go. All right. And we'll just fix this. Yeah, this is tricky. This is tricky. Definitely the first couple of times you do it. And I'm the type that once I have them in a mode I like, in this case the robot mode, I rarely take them out of it. So that's my inexperience showing there. And a busy house, because I'm doing this at dinner time and everybody wants to be in the kitchen where I am with my little setups. Yeah, this can be a little tricky. Try not to do this if you've had a long day, because you will get frustrated. Because it's so tightly designed, so very tightly designed, that it's got to be directly in there. There we go. But everything else fell apart. Okay. I'm definitely going to be fast forwarding through this part when I do my editing. All right. Foot back. Come on, little girl. There you go. All right, get that down and in. Perfect. Let's redo this side. Sorry, my little Xena over there is being very rambunctious this evening. Yeah, and oh, hello, Tino. She's got her brother acting up now. They are definitely teaming up against me. Hi, big boy. Hi. Okay. Okay, let's finish this up. There we go. It's supposed to look like that. About to look like that over here. Boop. Come on, focus for me, baby. There we go. So you guys have probably been seeing blurry, shaky cam this entire time. Don't worry, this is my first video, so I expect it's gonna suck. I'm just doing this to get the experience, and then we will upload it, and it will be bad. But you know, we all have learned lessons, and that's the point. You know, if I continue doing this like I plan to, this will be like how to not do your first YouTube video by TrashK. and it will star fiancés and maybe wives by that time. And whoops, how to not keep things in frame because not used to working in front of camera. See, this happens a lot. The hand just loses its connection here. It's okay, big boy. We'll be going out in a minute. Okay. All right. So after all that, and there we go. It is mistransformed. It does not look right. Okay, what's going on here? There's that, there's that, there's that. Oh, the leg came out, that's all it is. It is finicky. It is definitely finicky. Not necessarily a bad thing. There will definitely be better examples of how to do this on other videos, like these, that I will Bill and Ted and put in there later. Okay, that is definitely mistransformed, and there goes her head. Oh, what is up with this? See, this is it's kind of frustrating to do because it's supposed to lay really flat, and it is not laying really flat. I don't know why. Because it's so, well, that might be a problem. Because the tolerances are so tight on this, it is hard. I dare say it is hard to transform. Just kind of how it goes. I love it because, you know, there's so many that are just, see, and like I said, see, designed to come apart. There's so many here that are just, so many transformers that are just flip it over and it's done. So I like to have something like this where there's definitely some skill here. See, it's supposed to lay really flat, as you see here. This is supposed to go underneath that and right there. And I will find her head and pop it back on. Kind of morbid, understand. Oh, geez Louise. Just so tight on these tolerances. But I'll give you a general idea as to how it's supposed to look, even though I did have two major parts fall right off. I'm just going to boop, boop, boop. It's going to look somewhat like this. We're going to pause and reattach the parts and be right back.